The buildings of Indianapolis are location tonight, framed against the beautiful nighttime sky. The Bulls are looking to defeat their Eastern Conference rival going into this one. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
And with the road trip approaching, the Pacers will play the final game of their homestand. They've lost their last 3 games, and guys, they like that streak to end tonight here.
Yeah, and mentally, they're a team right now that's a little bit dysfunctional. And there's a visible tightness in terms of how they play and little flow right now to the game. They just haven't been able to sustain any periods of consistency.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Dunn and Levine are the guard set. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. And it's Allen in at the 3, the small forward. Domantas Sabonis, the son of the legendary Arvydas Sabonis. Bill, you saw Arvydas play. I was impressed with his game and called a lot of his games. When you think back to the time that the elder Sabonis was in the game, what do you remember?
Not much. I mean, we saw Sabonis at
the end
of his career, the equivalent of seeing like Dwayne Wade on the Miami last year or something. Sabonis in the 80s, by all accounts, was the most talented center, maybe other than Bill Walton, that we've seen for all-around centers. I still
That's
think,
quite a statement.
Yeah, I think Kareem, just for physical skills and the stuff he brought to the table, is still number 1. The skyhook is the greatest shot of all time. But Sabonis was like, could shoot from the outside. He was a Bill Walton-type passer, incredible rebounder, huge. Probably had the biggest head I've ever seen in person.
Huge.
It was just this big granite block of a head. And unfortunately, we didn't have League Pass back then. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't really have any way to see these guys, so you just kind of heard about the legend of Sabonis. Now you think about fast forward to 2018, Luka Doncic comes into the lottery, and we've all watched him. You go on YouTube, you can watch the EuroLeague finals on NBA TV.
Right.
And I have opinions on this guy. I had no opinions on Sabonis in the mid-'80s, just what people told me.
And there's the whistle. That goes on Chris Dunn. That is his first foul of the game. Oladipo taking his time here. And the pass to Clark. And Bogdanovich kicks to Sabonis. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Markkanen. Basket good.
Yeah, I like Sabonis' game inside because he's confident and skilled.
The Bulls have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Back to Markkanen. On the wing, Levine. Pass to Allen. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
You really don't want to allow him to get too comfortable, but even with stifling defense, he's going to still find a way to get it in the basket.
Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, it turns out,
they embraced the
Yeah,
size.
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they put it together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
Here's Clark. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Sabonis. Shoots over Markkanen. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Now Dunn. Back to Levine. Markkanen kicks to Dunn. Passes it to Allen. Lock at 6. Carter at the elbow. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, he was way up there.
And Chicago has possession. The Pacers making the shot. Dunn dishes to Allen. Down it goes. His third basket. He's now 3 for 4. Here's Clark. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. He kicks it to Oladipo. The pass to Sabonis. And slam dunk by Sabonis.
Excellent job by Sabonis after setting the screen. Very mobile in these pick and rolls.
Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up hissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Here's Turner after the made shot from Wendell Carter. His first shot coming late. No good off the front iron.
Cannot give him that much room from mid-range. They got to feel lucky he didn't knock that one down.
And stolen by Bogdanovich. A wide open look here for Oladipo. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Talking about last second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top 5?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're going to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just you forget about him from one play and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get out of my way, guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
Here's Clark. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. And even 3-on-3 break. Here's Marjanovic. A second chance effort, and it's laid in by Mudiay. And the Bulls lead by 9.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the Entertaining as Hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is you have the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10. You have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple days. You use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season.
Great
which
idea.
would be, for me, the number one thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70-game season. You could talk me into 76, but There's too many games. There's too many nights where the players. I just think basketball is really hard to play.
Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. And here is Allen. He had a 33-point outing in their last game against the Raptors in Toronto.
And there really was a physical aspect of his performance that was off the charts. He was taking it right at him, and he just kept getting those calls and getting to the line.
And the Pacers call time here.
And with the Tide running against them, needs to talk it over with his guys.
You're exactly right. Halting the other team's run momentarily. Let's see what he comes up with now, Greg.
And just a fantastic run of games for him. A look at the Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Well, he's been an absolute magician when the ball has been in his hands. There isn't any aspect of the offense that he hasn't contributed in, and it's been a pleasure to watch. I mean, unless you are an opposing coach, then his play has been a vivid nightmare.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And who doesn't love stats? Here are some numbers for Allen. How about 43 points per, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds? And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 17?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later, they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. It was probably the most famous NBA game ever of the, the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something, but triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Here's Portis after the made shot from Allen. Clark for 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Allen's got his 4th rebound in this one.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And again, Chicago turns it over. Done outside. Back to Allen. Kicks to Carter. Done outside. To the paint. Here's Allen.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos. Sabonis and Turner inside. Austin Rivers is out there with Victor Oladipo, and it's Bogdanovich in at the 3. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt esports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college, so I really hope it happens. Now, listen, the world changes every decade.
I know.
And you got to change with it. And the reality is esports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're way more likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't we be able to benefit from that? The whole esports in general, just the audiences they're getting and as a spectator event, that's been building. So why wouldn't that work for college?
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Raptors put on a show. He scored 33 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. He put up great numbers in a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss, and he'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
Thanks, David. It was a performance that not many players are capable of.
I know I won't forget it for a while, and you have to think he'll keep it rolling here tonight. When you're that hot, it takes a while to cool down.
And you know what, Greg? I think defensively, they're going to be ready for him. They won't make things easy. Coming off a game like he just had, I mean, he's going to get a bunch of attention.
Thinking about how much sports video gaming has changed over the decades, Bill, can you imagine a 13, 14-year-old Bill Simmons with the 2K product? You would just be all over that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea, Kevin Harlan. I was there for every step of the video game revolution. I had an Intellivision and an Atari. I had Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I had all three of the first PlayStations.
You played them all the time.
I played entire Madden seasons on the treadmill when I was like in my early 30s. Try playing any video game on the treadmill. Try it and try not falling off. It's impossible.
I'm sure it
I've been
is.
there every step of the way. I am pro esports. Basketball, I'm jealous of the people who can play 2K well because there's just, that sounds like an old guy, but so many buttons and so many things to remember. I'm always so impressed when people just remember all the combinations and stuff. I'm jealous.
Like your son does it.
My son can
plays
do
a game.
it.
I know it.
But I could have done it. I
know you could have.
I want to take 1984 me out of a time machine and just give me this game. I would have unleashed.
Yeah, but 13-year-old Bill Simmons would like what 40-year-old Bill Simmons is.
13-year-old Bill Simmons would be amazed that 48-year-old Bill Simmons was getting paid to do anything. He'd really be excited about that. Just that he wasn't living at home. We would have been fired up.
And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
You know, another thing they've done well, guys, this first half is challenge shooters and change shots. A bunch of block shots early.
Indiana again missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Now Oladipo, after the missed three from Allen. Nice D from Oladipo.
And that's solid defense, rock solid, contesting without fouling. Well done.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. Huge. It all started with the decision of LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. And now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old
Polished.
giving, like, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
like, he
19 years
he
old.
doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Now here's Allen. Victor Oladipo unable to get his last shot to go. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college, I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the three ways. If I'm getting to know you, what are the three things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other two things for me were sports, pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
Blakeney kicks to Markkanen. Pass to Blakeney. Back to Markkanen. Pass to Blakeney. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Just 4 to shoot. Allen passes to Levine. Over Oladipo. Here's Allen. Gets it to fall, and now he's 10 of 15 on the game.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
Here's McDermott after the made shot from Lauri Markkanen. And the foul on Wendell Carter. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Pacers have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them.
Doug McDermott, a solid teammate because he embraces whatever his team asks of him, and he's a consistent perimeter threat.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Bobby Portis is checked in for Turner. Sheck Diallo comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Johnson in for Oladipo. Now here's Allen. 25 points in the game. Pass to Evans. Over McDermott. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Indiana's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter. Only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Johnson kicks to Clark. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. Allen for 3, and the 3 ball is good. Allen's got 28.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, continue to pour it on.
And so it's the Chicago Bulls with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Really an incredible game from AI.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
And, Greg, I like how they've set the pace. There's a lot of time left in this one, so there's no rush. You don't have to go 70 miles an hour. Keep it at about 45.
Taking a look at the Bulls. And down low, it's Markkanen and Carter. Dunn and Levine are the guard set. And it's Allen in at the 3 spot. Clark, agility is such an important thing for players to have, obviously. When you look at the offensive end, knowing that agility has that upper value, who are some of the more elusive players you see in the game now?
Man, I don't think there's any more elusive player in the game than Steph Curry. I tell you, he's not the most athletic, he's not the fastest, but he is the slipperiest guy to try to keep a handle on. His ball handling, his shot making, his change of pace. I throw Kyrie Irving in there as well. Kemba Walker, diminutive in size, but boy, is he hard to keep corralled. And Lou Williams, one of my favorites. One of the great scorers, maybe one of the greatest scorers ever, under 6'2" in the league.
Yeah, some terrific names there. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Clark finds Turner. Oladipo with the ball. Here's Clark. Dunn covering. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. No good from Clark.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And he sinks the second. 90 seconds now into the second half. Outside Bogdanovich. From 13, Allen with the rebound. Allen's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Dunn, wide open, he fires, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Clark kicks to Oladipo. He feeds it to Turner. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And Miles Turner, obviously one of the strongest shot blockers, Clark, in the NBA, in large part to his length.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the timing, too, Kevin, is a big asset in blocking shots. I think he's already a strong defender, and he's only going to get better as he gets more experience and strength.
And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. And Dunn with the slam.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
Yeah, it's actually palpable, isn't it, Greg? I mean, you can feel it. Every single one of these guys locked in, playing for each other. And that's why they're up.
Back to Clark. Launches a 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Carter kicks to Markkanen. Allen for 3. And Oladipo pulls it down. Oladipo's got 4 rebounds in this game. To the middle, looking to end his cold spell. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got 9 points.
Maybe with that, the lid on this basket will be lifted for him.
Allen dishes to Markkanen. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Now here's Allen. He's got 29 points. It's Allen on the wing. Fires from the corner. Pacers with the rebound. Sabonis has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Levine against Oladipo. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. No good with the triple.
Boy, awful defending, really. But in the end, they dodged a bullet. They can't let shooters get clean looks from outside, though. Can't be thrown any better. That bounce pass hit him right in stride.
Clark kicks to Turner. Oh, Turner in position. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Tremendous display of chemistry and connectedness by Turner with his teammates. All they have to do is lob it his way, and he'll handle the rest.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Levine passes to Allen. Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Valentine's checked in for Chicago. Clark, you were in Indiana after being drafted by the Pacers for a few seasons. Who are some of the more talented guys you played with there?
Well, Herb Williams, a teammate of mine at Ohio State, really outstanding big guy, mobile, could shoot it, excellent defender, shot blocker, and a high-quality guy. Vern Fleming was a guard that had size, excellent defender, driver of the ball. Wayman Tisdale, and he rests in peace. We lost Wayman a number of years ago to cancer. Really a gifted scorer. Steve Stepanovich, he and I both had to retire about the same time due to different knee trouble. And he was a rugged, mobile, good shooting big guy who I think would have continued to excel had he not had to retire.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Bulls.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
And Indiana making a change here. Portis is checked in. Fires from 14. Misses off the right iron. The Bulls have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Done. It's deflected. Levine against Oladipo. Stolen by Levine. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Levine with the ball. Back to Allen. Now here's Valentine. Defended by Sabonis. Allen for the 3. It's Clark with the rebound.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Puts it up from 12, and the jumper is on the mark. Clark's got 6 points. Chicago has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Here's Dunn, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
And since halftime, he has been a different player.
Pacers have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Here's Clark. 6 points for him. To the right side. Sabonis against Allen. Portis can't get it to go. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. And that game will be 4 out of 5 on the road for the team. Allen. That's good. And it's Levine with the assist. 36 points for Allen.
Kevin, I like what Levine showed there, not getting so locked in to his own offense. Keeps his head up, finds the open man.
Here's Oladipo. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. He's got 11.
Great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, he knew he had him beat, Greg. I mean, that was clear. Took advantage of the space he had and then calmly and quietly drained it from the mid-range. That's good basketball.
Here's Allen. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Houston Rockets. And then on Friday, they'll take on Marc Gasol and the Memphis Grizzlies.
And while this team hasn't been at their best, they might actually look forward to this road trip. For whatever reason, they are at their best away from home. And this could be just what the doctor ordered.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Check Diallo. He's checked in for Sabonis. Johnson comes in for Bogdanovic. And it's Rivers in for Oladipo.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense. Good ball movement. Wonderful pass. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Johnson against Allen. Here's Evans. Trying to get open is Marjanovic. And Evans gets it to go on the assist by Allen.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
This is Demudia. Back to Allen. There's the pass to Marjanovic. Back to Allen. 3 on the clock. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Allen's got 13 points in just this quarter. For Indiana, they've gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. Clark finds Portis. Back to Clark. There's the 3. The shot comes out, so the Bulls will take it the other way.
I think it's going to be tough for them to trim this deficit if he keeps missing those kinds of shots, Kevin. I mean, they need his points.
Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third, still 0 for 3. And Clark, you played your entire career with the Pacers. What was your favorite memory during that time?
Well, certainly realizing the dream of being an NBA player, Kevin. I was the 8th pick overall. It was close to where I played in college at Ohio State. And then being able to perform at a high level to be a unanimous all-rookie team selection, that was a pretty good highlight for me starting my career.
And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. And the Bulls making a change here. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Allen kicks to Blakeney. And the call will be against Sabonis. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
That foul gives him 4, so he's got to settle down a bit.
Allen passes to Moutier. Back to Allen. You know, every coach talks about playing team basketball, Clark. When it comes to the fans, they really come out to see the stars. What do you think is the psychology behind that?
Well, I think fans enjoy elite players and great talent across any sport. But they also recognize that team play is critical to winning. So I think it's a combination. Fans, I think we've got to give them a little more credit. Sure, they want to see the stars play, but they want to win, and they know to win, teams have to be about team basketball, not just highlighting and enjoying the stars.
Oladipo is out there with Austin Rivers. Then there's Erickson. Then it's McDermott, and it's Bush in at the 4 slot. That's the Pacers' 5. Nice shot by McDermott.
This is Dougie McBuckets at his best, a lights-out shooter from beyond the arc.
Allen kicks to Blakeney. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. Allen's shot is off.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
McDermott with it. He's against Allen. On the left block, and it's finished off inside by McDermott. McDermott's got 9 points here in the second half.
Tell you what, give McDermott props for keeping his focus. Nice job of concentrating there close to the basket.
Allen finds Moutier to end the cold streak. Goes back up, and Allen puts it in. Allen's got 43 points.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
Oladipo outside. Pass to Rivers. 6 to shoot. Rebound by the Bulls. Allen's Chicago's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. And Felicio is going to pick up the foul. That is his 1st foul of the game.
A great feed, and that assist gives him a triple-double. You gotta love that kind of player, able to get it done in just about every facet.
Pass to Bush. To the inside, and Oladipo kicks to McDermott. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got rebound number 15 here tonight. Here's Moutier, and he's good on the 3-ball. The Pacers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Rivers dishes to Oladipo. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark, players have to really watch what they say now before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell.
Well said. Well said.
That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized, and to the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible. They're very accessible. They're well connected to the community through their platforms. But you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
Here's Blakeney, guarded by Oladipo. Back to Allen. Lets it go. Erickson with the rebound.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. Hey, he's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
Felicio, the pass to Allen. Oladipo outside. Passes to Erickson. McDermott finds Oladipo. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Now Rivers, defended by Allen. McDermott for three. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Allen with it. Clock at 6. And he banks in the layup. Allen's got 45 points.
And, you know, he's been their go-to guy. Smart at knowing what shots to take, when to take them. Plays with really a perfect pace.
Now Rivers. And Oladipo kicks to Rivers. A floater. That one's not going to go. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Feeds it to Allen. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Erickson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Now the pass to McDermott. Nails the wide open jump shot. McDermott's got 13 points now in the quarter.
Boy, he's this explosive as a scorer. And once McDermott turns it on, there's no turning off.
Felicio, the pass to Blakeney. Now here's Moutier, guarded by Oladipo. Here's Allen. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Mark, you've always been a student of the game. You've seen a number of guys do a great job of changing styles as they've gotten older in the game.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch. I think about Magic Johnson. I think about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Right.
You watch these guys, and there are a number of other guys, too. I mean, those come to mind pretty prominently. But again, it's about a concession to who you are for real, not who you used to be. And I love seeing guys play more on the ground when they were high flyers earlier, or add a jump shot when they were drivers. Those are neat evolutions to see. Resplendent release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Moutier dishes to Allen. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got 3 assists now in this one. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Erickson passes to McDermott. Johnson wide open. He fires. Offline with his 3.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
That one falls.
Yeah, heads up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Here's Clark, defended by Moutier. Clark kicks to Oladipo. Johnson in the corner. Oladipo finds Clark. Shot clock at 6. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Erickson misses.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Here's Marjanovic. A rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And from distance, no less. What an amazing pass.
That's about as long an alley-oop pass as you're going to see.
To be right on time and on target from that distance, ridiculous.
Basket good. Blakeney's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Here's Clark, defended by Moutier. McDermott, no one around him. Basket is good, the assist from Johnson. McDermott's got 16 points here in the second half. Allen outside. Here's Moutier, and there it is for him.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Here's Erickson. McDermott for three, and Indiana another three.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Chicago.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so now, on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And just bulldozing their way through this season series. The victory here tonight will make it 3-0 for the year, with one left to be played against the Pacers.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Allen.
You know, getting a triple-double isn't easy because I never had one of those, but somehow he made it look easy, just showing you how versatile his game is. And, you know, it's obvious he's a talented scorer. I mean, that's a given. A guy you can depend on to get it done in a lot of ways.
You know, Clark, when you think about it, all fans really care about is winning, and that's hard to pull off when you're the only star on your team. We see it all over the league.
You know, basketball is not tennis or golf. It's a team game, and one man can't win a championship by himself. I mean, when you look at all the championship teams, they were championship teams, not driven by just one star player. And it's a blessing when you can play with other good players, and that's what all good players desire to do at some point in their career.
And he knocks down the first one. And McDermott drops them both. 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Down low, here's Moutier, and Moutier throws it down.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
Pass to Johnson. McDermott for three, drills the three-pointer.
An accurate shooter off the pass, McDermott feels comfortable firing as soon as he catches it.
We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Carter. And here is Marjanovic. Just 5 on the clock. Blakeney kicks to Allen. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Clark. And so Chicago takes this one.